Next candle on the list is going to be, spiced white cocoa. That label is gorgeousness. That label is deliciousness. I love white chocolate. I love hot cocoa. On the label, we have a glass of really viscous, really thick white cocoa, topped with some whipped cream, and looks like freshly ground nutmeg, perhaps some cinnamon sugar. There's some snowflake confection, candy-esque things going on. It's fun to see the full-size label compared to the cropped label from last year. What I mean by that is that this is not my first experience with this candle. I've already reviewed it. This was released in the United States as an online exclusive last year. So if you want to check out that review, the link is going to be in the description below. But I'm going to revisit it, just in the case my notes have changed or if this fragrance has changed in any way. So let's do it. Oh yeah. And this should go without saying. This is an explosion, a divine collision, if you will, of savory, salty, and sweetness. Massive butter on the nose and a saltiness coming through. Big, sweet confection marshmallow as well, as we would come to expect. There's a very nice fresh vanilla bean in here. It's also making me think of like vanilla pudding or even tapioca pudding for that matter. And although this could pass as milk chocolate hot cocoa, there really is an authentic white chocolate element to this candle. It's selling the hot chocolate to me. Being 100% sincere here, has anyone ever had Land O'Lakes Arctic White Hot Cocoa? Very similar aromatic profile. Not kidding. It has that butteriness, it has that exaggerated vanilla, and it almost has that marshmallow incorporated into the mix. Last year, I was having difficulties picking up on any spices. And this year it seems like the same thing, maybe even less spice than I got last year. But I'm sure as you burn this candle, when the fragrance becomes airborne, some of that nutmeg will show itself a little bit more, but it will certainly not be a big spice. Yeah, and speaking of that nutmeg, there is an eggnog element here. There's some nog in this candle, that's for sure. Adding to the rich dairy, creamy side makes this very rich. Some nuttiness too. Macadamia nut, because we all know that macadamia nut, white chocolate pair together wonderfully. Macadamia nut, maybe even like a hazelnut coffee creamer or a French vanilla coffee creamer. And going back to that savory, salty sweetness, caramel, like Werther's caramel candies, definitely. Or cowtails. You know cowtails, the nostalgic candies, that caramel that's inside those? With that vanilla, with that dairiness, I can't help but think of a vanilla sundae just doused with butterscotch sauce, warm butterscotch sauce. Maybe a little caramel on there too. And although there's not a tremendous amount of spice in this candle, especially because it's called spiced white cocoa, there's a lot of things in this candle that we closely associate with spices. I could say molasses I get in here, like I said, that caramel, vanilla, even like honey graham crackers wouldn't be a far stretch at all. And all of that topped with fresh whipped cream. This is a decadent, delicious, white cocoa all the way candle. If you love white chocolate, you love hot cocoa, this is something you definitely want to check out. Spiced white cocoa, what do you guys think? Does that sound good to you based on my descriptions? Have you burned this? Do you like it? What do you think? Comments below. We got one more to go. Let's check it out. The last one on the list. It's a small guy. I couldn't get the full-size house warmer. Crackling wood fire. Yes. That's something I can really sink my teeth into. Right on the label here we have birch chopped up into firewood with some flame in the background. We're already off to a great start, but let's give this a sniff. So this candle, the fragrance, the aroma profile is a bit deceiving. For me, this is taking a cologne approach. It is cologne driven for sure. Do I smell wood? Sure, I smell wood. Sandalwood, pine, birch. But we have that classic cologne bergamot serving as a top note and several florals at play. Lily of the valley, jasmine, and lavender, which is interesting because those florals are usually utilized in ocean, sea, aquatic themed candles. And speaking of aquatic themed candles, there's a saltiness to this. This does have a brine-like, salty, sea salt, kosher salt, saltiness to it. But it works. It fits into that cologne profile. I even want to say a peppercorn, another popular ingredient in many men's cologne. Yeah, spicy peppercorn and savory thyme. And the base notes are not as heavy and thick as you think they might be. We have that sandalwood that we spoke of. Some muskiness, kind of leathery, kind of floral muskiness. And amber, which is really just that heavy vanilla smell or vanillin smell. And tonka bean. Again, a lot of these notes used in sea candles. Very interesting. You know, something like this candle is going to be nothing like this candle right here. Dream by the Fire. This was a part of the 2015 Winter Wonderland collection. No, here we have much bigger musky leather. We have smoke, we have bark, we have heavy, heavy wood base notes. Smells great, smells wonderful, smells dusty, smells like a lodge, a cabin, a cottage. Where this kind of smells more of like the blanket that you're wrapped up in, laying on a sofa near the fire, or perhaps a cologne of someone sitting next to you by the crackling fire. It's a very comfy, cozy scent, but definitely not a literal candle, meaning crackling wood fire. That is what I would call a fantasy name for this candle. It's not what this smells like, but it sets a tone. It sets the stage. The warmth of shelter, crackling wood fire. And that is it. That is going to conclude the 4 candles that are a part of the UK 2017 Christmas collection. So my question for you is, which one is your favorite if you've burned these or smelled these, or which one sounds like it would be your favorite? Thank you so much for joining me as I shared some of my thoughts, opinions, my sensory evaluation on these candles. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. A lot of Christmas evaluations before we get to the big day, so keep your eyes out for that. Again, thank you for joining. I will be seeing you soon, but until then, be good, will you?